Welcome to the Lounge Lizards podcast. It's so good to have you here. It's a leisure and lifestyle podcast founded on our love of premium cigars, as well as whiskey, travel, food, work, and whatever else we feel like getting into. My name is Gizmo, and tonight I'm joined by Rooster, Pooba, Senator Pagoda Grinder, and Bam Bam, a full house of lizards. And our plan is to smoke a cigar, drink some scotch, talk about life, and of course, have some laughs. So take this as your 13th official invitation to join us and become a card-carrying lounge lizard. Plan to meet us here once a week. We're going to smoke a New World cigar tonight, share our thoughts on it, and give you our formal lizard rating. We'll go through Cigar Aficianado's top 25 cigars from last year. Grinder will tell us about scotch from the Isle of Skye, and we'll do our first liquor rating, all among a variety of other things for the next hour. So sit back, get your favorite drink, light up a cigar, and enjoy as we pair 10-year aged Talisker scotch with the Joya de Nicaragua Antaño in Belicoso. A New World Belicoso tonight from Joya de Nicaragua, a 6x54. It's called the Antaño. And I was reading before we came on that this cigar was released as a tribute to the power and the essence of the true Nicaraguan puro. So that is definitely leading me to believe that this is going to be quite robust cigar.
This is like the OG Nicaraguan puro.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is
Very rich.
Yep.
Not rich. It's like very.
It's a full flavored, full strength cigar. 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of spice. Let's get ready, boys.
All right, boys. Let's see what we're getting on the cold draw here on the wrapper. Oh, yeah. Cold draw is really nice.
It is.
It's like a little fruity, little raisin.
Yeah, it's dried fruit.
Yeah. It's like fig.
It's like a fruit cake.
Yeah.
Ooh, who said fig is a good? Yeah.
I think fig. It's
fig-like.
like a fig Newton
It's
kind
fig-
of thing.
it's very
It's a fig
figgy.
Newton. It's very fig Newton.
It's a figgy.
I think that you nailed it. It's like a fig Newton.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it is.
Who said
It
the
is.
Fig Newton?
Gizmo.
It's a fucking fig
It's a
That
Newton.
is
fucking
spot
it's-
on.
It's you know why?
Wow.
Because it's fruity and bready.
It is.
Yes.
This
It-
is what an
Because I was getting bread and I was going what? But I was getting fruit. It's a fucking fig
It's
Newton.
a fucking fig Newton.
Listen,
His palate is no longer primitive.
No.
That was
I am-
impressive.
Yeah, it was impressive.
I've said it on a previous
I'm
pod, boys.
literally-
I have evolved.
Yeah.
Holy
time to
shit!
accept-
It's
You
a
have.
fig Newton.
It's
You
a
have.
fucking fig Newton.
It is. It is.
Holy shit,
The fucking Catalina wine.
dude!
mixer.
You just hit a fucking. What
I
did you
just
say?
the Catalina wine mixer.
Holy shit!
It's great. Shall we
All
light?
right, let's light it up,
Let's light
boys.
it up.
The Nicaraguan Joya de Nicaragua
From
Antaño.
Keebler.
From the Keebler elves of Nicaragua comes the Antaño. In Belicoso, you know, Bam Bam got these cigars for us, and I've been holding them for a couple weeks. And when I was packing them out today, I was like, damn, this cigar is thick and like it's big in the hand. I was like, man, I got intimidated, man.
She's thick.
I got intimidated. Thick with a few C's. I was
Couple
very
Cs.
intimidated.
Reminds you of
couple.
that night down in the village.
It's a little. I was a little intimidated, and hearing that this is a celebration of the strength and essence of Nicaragua. I'm interested to see what this thing is like.
That's right. This cigar is considered a puro. Then the filler, the wrapper, and the binder are all Nicaraguan. And this particular cigar was released roughly 15 years ago.
Oh, I thought it was only 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Right, you got to put some fire on this.
Yeah, this
fucking
thing needs a
man.
lot
You got to
of
really
fire.
light this fuck.
Yeah, the draw is very, very open on this.
Yeah, the draw is really nice.
Yeah. There are 10 different Vitolas in this Antaño line. 10.
So this is a familiar friend for me, Pooba.
Me too, actually. Yeah.
So you guys smoke a lot of these?
Again, like the Liga,
Yeah,
5, 6, 8 years ago, I used to smoke a lot of these.
yeah. This is my first one.
I've never smoked this size, but you know, I get a lot of the familiar.
This
familiar
is like
notes.
It's funny,
New
'cause-
World combustion, like smoke chimney. I can see it already.
Oh yeah. No, similar to Grinder. I mean, this is one of the first cigars I ever had, actually, the Joya de Nicaragua or Joya de Nicaragua Antaño. But I've never had it in this large of a ring gauge and even the length. I think it's like a Robusto.
I usually do the Robusto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right away, you're getting a lot of flavor, I think, right off the bat.
So you get a lot of spice, very rich. There's the thing with these cigars for me is the retrohale. When you do the retrohale on this, it tastes like a fucking chai latte.
You know,
for
I
me.
don't think we talked about a retrohale, by the way. When you say retrohale, what do you mean by that for the listener?
A retrohale is when you're not inhaling the smoke, but you're expelling the smoke from that you take into your mouth and you release it out of your nostrils. And there's a passageway from your mouth to your nostrils, as we all know, and that the amount of taste receptors in your nostrils is pretty significant. And doing it at such a raw or virginal state, right when you smoke it from the cigar, there's still a lot of unique flavors in there that you wouldn't have otherwise scented if you just did it from Bobby and Sal sitting smoking a cigar next to you. There's a different type of flavor, and it's a different type of flavor from just tasting it on your palate, just as a normal cigar. So retrohale is not necessarily inhaling it, but optically it looks like you're smoking a cigarette, but you're not. You're not taking it into your lungs. You're just taking it in your mouth and out of your nose.
Got it. Well, I was doing that while you were speaking. It was very spicy, but not like overwhelming spice. It was nice when I pushed it through my nose.
Doesn't make your eyes water.
No.
Yeah, it's got a good balance of spice and a little bit of sweetness.
Yeah.
Right?
I have to
Like a
say,
dried
so
fruit.
I've never smoked this size, and it's very different for me.
I'm saying the exact same thing to myself, Grinder.
It's different. It's
very different.
Yeah, it's very different for me.
I feel like because you don't get as much of the wrapper, it's a different experience. Is this a
It's a big
Maduro
cigar.
wrapper? What is the wrapper?
Corojo? What is it?
It's a Corojo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rojo.
Yeah. And like Bam said, everything is Nicaraguan.
Yep. Puro
Nice.
for sure. Yep. There's a sister cigar to this in the line. It's called the Gran Reserva Antaño. I find
Oh, that's right. You've had that.
I've had that many times.
That's
Now,
a very good one.
It's a very good one. It's a bit it doesn't kick you like this one does. It's smoother, and you get different notes in it.
Is that a
So-
Robusta or?
It comes in other Vitolas.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many though in that
They
line.
they make
10
a,
of these, 10 Vitolas in this particular cigar.
They make a Vitola called the Grand Consul, and it's like a small Robusto, and it's a little thicker, and it's actually thick. I think it might be thicker than this.
but isn't it a torpedo at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's for me is very classic Joya JDN Antaño. Like that's what it is for me. And this is I don't think the blend is different,
No.
I don't think so.
but it tastes. This is fascinating for me because I've never had this, and I smoke a lot of these cigars in these lines, and all of them for me have a very similar profile, and this is a little different.
It was rated pretty high on CA's ratings. And
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
was
in,
it?
what
in
year it was?
2016 it got a 90.
Yep.
And prior years between 91, I think 92.
No, but like rating wise, like in the top 5.
Oh, that I don't know.
The thing
Yeah.
I like the rich smoke. It's very rich smoke.
Yeah, the room will be full of smoke soon.
Yeah.
So the word Antaño means yesteryear. So they're calling
Right.
back to,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, the cigars of the 70s, as they call it, that were coming out of Nicaragua.
Right.
Isn't it a tribute to like the Nicaraguan independence
Yeah,
or something?
It's a tribute to the cigars of Nicaragua. I don't know specifically to Nicaraguan political celebration or something. But
we don't get into politics.
yeah,
on
we
this
avoid
podcast.
politics on the Lounge Lizards podcast. But
What I like about this for me on the draw, I get there's a bit of a sweetness to it. On the finish, it's nice and earthy, which
Yeah.
I like a lot.
and a little bit of spice, just a touch
A
of
bit,
it.
yeah, just enough.
I'm wondering if it's because I typically smoke these a little drier.
So do we know this? It's so funny. Sorry, I'm just doing a little bit of reading. So I'm fascinated by this. Oyo de Nicaragua is Nicaragua's oldest premium cigar brand,
Mm,
I didn't know
I
that.
did not know that.
OG, the OG Nicaraguan.
established in 1968.
Yeah, this is like
So just
When did you get these? Did you get these? Have these been in your humidor? Or did you? Just
these
pick
have been in
up?
my
In your
humidor, for
humidor.
about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And these have been at 65 since I got them.
they seem
spongy.
They're
Spun-
yeah,
very
exactly.
They are.
I feel the
They
same
are.
way.
They are. They are.
So
Yeah,
I don't
this-
know how wet they were when I got them, but when I
That's the thing.
yeah,
This
so-
goes back to our conversation, right? Bam picked these up at a retailer,
Right.
and we've been talking about how most of these retailers keep the humidity way too high in their humidor.
That's right.
And I mean, if we're feeling this is a little spongy now, I can only imagine had we smoked this right out of that retailer's humidor, because it's probably come down a bit in Gizmo's kitty litter calibrated setup.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Always a jab.
wait.
Always a jab.
Kitty litter calibrated. We're gonna TM that.
Like
Trademark.
I feel, but only the reason why, because I just took a draw and I feel a tunnel coming. I feel the wrapper. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming.
You know what's crazy too, Puba? I just want to say,
It's funny you
I
say
dry
that.
I dry
Me too.
box these all day today. About 8 o'clock in the morning, I dry box these.
I mean, I'm
doing
I'm
okay.
barely. I think I'm maybe I don't know what you call that. It's
Half an inch,
Half
yeah.
an inch.
Yeah.
The amount of sponge I'm getting in this right now is not something that I typically see it when I have an inch left.
Yeah.
So for that, to me, it definitely tells me that it's maybe overhydrated.
Yeah, which like
and
we
probably
talked
explains to
about.
me why like the taste is wonky to me.
Well, that's a challenge of buying these at retailers, especially trying to smoke them same day or next day. I mean, we're talking about. I've had them in a 65, perfectly calibrated situation with my Padrones. You know,
So when you dry box them, so you're taking the box out of your humidor and just leaving it outside?
no. What I do normally is I have a separate setup. Simply to in situations like this, like for New World specifically, where they're in a box that is way drier, ambience way more dry humidity wise, and I leave them in there as long as I can. So these were in there before we smoked them, probably about 10, 11 hours today.
Is there a Bovida in the box?
Yeah,
or-
62.
Okay.
This isn't. I mean, the burn isn't bad.
Do you guys? Let me ask you this: Do you guys?
I feel if something's going to happen soon.
I think you feel that because the draw is so open, right?
No, I just feel like the wrapper's not about to catch up, but I could be wrong. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Do you what shape do you guys usually smoke in this cigar?
I smoked
Robusto.
Yeah,
Robusto.
Robusto.
Yeah.
Robusto is like what it is. Like the
Yeah.
Antaño, the Joya de Nicaragua Antaño is the Robusto,
Got it.
in my opinion. I like the Grand Consul a lot, but the Robusto is where
I
it's
think it
at.
was the Robusto that was rated in the CA ratings.
Was it?
I think so. I mean, I could be wrong. But
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Kinda rings a bell.
It's such a good stick.
So these come in a box of 20. You can get them anywhere between 160 and 190 bucks, and then for a single, you get them somewhere around 8 to 10 to 12 bucks, depending on your local market. So, and that's specific to the Belicoso. Obviously, some of the other sizes are going to be a little different than that.
Wow, this is crazy. I'm looking at some of the Vitolas. They make this, they call it the big bowl.
Yeah.
They make this in a 60 ring gauge.
Yeah. That's right.
It's intense.
Yep.
it's for the American market.
A couple
Sir,
of years ago, I
Some
bought
big fat
I bought
attorney.
big fat attorney. Why attorney?
It fits though. It fits.
It's so perfect. You know why?
You know why? What a great response. You know why.
Because they're a big fat attorney.
I mean, I've smoked a lot of these Vitolas. This is a little different for me. And I think it is attributed to probably the way it's been kept.
I do like the Grand Consul the best.
It's so good.
In this line.
It's
yeah.
so good.
Absolutely.
Are these pretty easy to find?
No.
No.
Like a lot of these cigars, online maybe, but if you're going to a shop, they don't have all the Vitolas.
You know, they may not have all the Vitolas, but I'm sorry. Like this, my experience has been at least that almost every retailer carries an Joya de Nicaragua Antaño. They may
Yeah.
not have all the Vitolas.
Exactly,
but
sure.
This is like standard fare if you're a cigar
You'll
retailer.
get one of those in the Vitola, sure.
Yeah.
But not all the Vitolas. Yeah. That's what I meant.
So let's because I'm kind of thirsty now having this cigar. Let's talk about our Scotch pairing tonight. We got Talisker. When Senator pulled this out, I think Pagoda brought this, right, Pagoda?
Pagoda
Thank you,
did.
sir. When Senator pulled this out, some of the guys' eyes lit up about Talisker. It seemed like a celebrated Scotch in the room.
It's tasty.
Well, that's delightful.
What's the year on the how aged is this?
Talisker 10,
This is 10. Okay.
which I will go out on a limb and say I think the best 10-year Scotch is Talisker 10.
I'm
At
getting
that
like a
age range.
I'm on your limb.
peaty thing.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a little bit of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little peat and a lot of cinnamin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
cinnamon.
That it's,
Yeah. Good point.
I like it. I like it. I
Yeah.
like it a lot.
Me too.
So grinder. I don't know if you know about Talisker, but is this something that comes from where some of those other peaty scotches from, like a Lagavulin, a Lefroy? Because I certainly get that kind of taste profile, but is it similar to that or no?
I mean, no, I don't. I honestly, I get a little peat, but I don't think they actually use peat in making Talisker. I don't know.
Really?
I'm not. I'll be honest. I don't know as much about the Talisker distillery as
you do others.
maybe you'd hope.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to feign, knowledge on it, but I do get. I don't know if I get peat. I get spice.
Okay.
I don't necessarily get peat. I definitely get spice.
You don't taste the
peat.
smokiness?
I get smoke, but that's not necessarily peat. I get the peat level for this is more moderate relative to like a Lagavulin. It's definitely a lot more moderate to like a Lefroy, which I don't even count because that's
So Talisker does use peat. I just looked it up.
they do. Okay,
Yeah.
so they use peat. I don't know how
In all, there's like the 10, the 18, all of it.
So then it's peat, and I don't know much about it. Sorry.
It's a good Scotch.
I like it. It really it's like if Lagavulin and a Macallan had a baby.
So hang on. Sorry.
Oh, that's a good.
Can I maybe tee up Grinder? Do you know? I feel like you've mentioned this. It says it's one of the few distilleries to be found in the Isle of Skye.
Oh yeah, Skye. So Skye is unique because it's a different island in Scotland, and they do have the bogs where the peat is, so that that tracks. Skye's very acclimated. You get a lot of the maritime flavors like salts, minerality.
Yeah.
You're right. I get a freshness, and there's the thing about Skye is that they haven't been doing this. I don't think they've been doing it as long as the others, like in the Highland area, as far as like major distilleries. I don't know if you have the stats on when Talisker was founded, but it doesn't have the very traditional Gaelic names like Glenmorangie or Macallan or the very distinctly Gaelic name. Lagavulin. So I'm sure there's some influence of like Nordic people in there that have immigrated, some Vikings that conquered shit, and but no, that's all I got. I'm not a wealth of information on Talisker.
It's good.
I just
real
think
good.
the thing I like about Talisker, I feel like it's the best introduction to peaty Scotch in that the peat's there. It's not overwhelming. It doesn't dominate the flavor profile of it. And I feel like the fact that it seems every lizard is really pleased with this. And I think we're all on different kind of degrees of peat that we enjoy in Scotch. Some really don't like a lot of peat. Some do. To me, anyone who's trying to taste a peatier Scotch, I would give them this to start out.
I haven't had it in ages because, like I've said before on previous shows, I get a little bit stuck in my ways, and this is a great way for me to expand my horizons. I think I'm stuck in my ways. They're good ways. I get diverse, but I don't spread my wings as much. This, to me, I'm so in on Talisker 10. I'm so in on Lagavulin. I'm just so in on it now. It just takes a little bit of just open your mind up and try these things, because it's nice to have a change of pace once in a while. And for me, this is a really wonderful change of pace. And particularly given the weather right now,
I was going to say the cold weather.
The cold weather
Yep.
really matches up with. There's a smokiness to this. It's just great. And for a 10-year-old Scotch, it's super balanced.
No, you don't. It's definitely refined.
It really is a refined spirit. It's very good.
I think too. I to your point about weather, I think this is a great cold weather Scotch, and it kind of makes me want to try more peaty stuff as we're in the cold months here in the Northeast. Like, get more into as some of the stuff that Grinder likes.
It doesn't have a rough edge on it.
Yeah,
Agree.
yeah.
It doesn't have a rough
To
edge
your phrase,
on it.
it's not offensive.
That's why I said to
There's nothing
me, this is the
offensive about it.
best 10-year single malt.
It's very,
It's
very
so
approachable.
Yeah,
It really is.
It
It's
punches above its weight class.
way above its weight class. How much is this a bottle?
It's not
Six-
cheap. Right?
65.
65.
Right.
like
So
Macallan
it's
12.
like Macallan
Macallan,
12. It's
yeah.
in that class. I mean, okay, 2 years. It doesn't need the extra 2 years. Who cares about the age statement? It's good. It's high quality spirit.
So I have a question. So you know how we rate the cigars at the end of the podcast? How come we don't rate the scotch?
Ooh, good
That's a-
question.
Interesting
It's
idea.
fair.
That is a good question. I
Very
don't know.
I
interesting.
think you should rate the scotches too, the whatever
Wow.
you're pairing with.
Well, it depends on how much we drink because we'll all rate it a 10.
But to your point,
I mean,
we've
just to
had
give the listener like an idea. of-
Yeah.
Can I introduce a formal lizard motion?
sure.
Motion to, effective this episode, begin rating all spirits that we taste
Yeah.
each episode.
Yeah.
All in
Sure.
favor?
Yeah, all in favor.
Let's do it. Let's start it tonight.
Aye.
We could call it
Aye.
the formal liquor rating.
Ancient.
There we go.
So
we have to do a hand vote. We have to do a
I-
hand vote.
I gotta say-
ancient sign of a lizard. Show the claw.
Show the claw.
Okay.
The motion
Okay.
passed.
Motion seconded.
Yes.
Passed.
Second. I got to say, though, I wish we would have come up with this idea a few weeks ago when we had some spectacular scotch and cigar pairings, because I know we would have 10-10s across the board.
Oh, we can always go back to them.
We could. And there are 2 cigars that I could name off the top of my head now that paired beautifully with whoever the hell picked the scotch in this room. Fantastic job. Fantastic.
Yeah, we've kind of gotten lucky with the pairings. I think that some of them have been very specific and others have been kind of chance. And I think
If I can go back to the RAS, what did we drink with the Ramon Iona Specially Select?
oh gosh,
That was a perfect
I don't
pairing.
remember.
Neither do I.
Was it the cigar malt cigar?
No.
No, it was the
No.
It was Lagavulin, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It was Lagavulin.
And the beauty of that, because the cigar and the scotch had very similar notes. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
I love that scotch.
Oh, I do too. With that cigar, I love it.
It was like a dance. It was like a magnificent dance.
Can I just say the fact that we have Puba saying that he likes Lagavulin 16
Yeah, that's huge.
really warms
big.
my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh,
did
really-
that grinder.
It really
Yeah.
warms my heart.
Oh, I
Grinder,
really like it.
We
And I
all
really
love
like-
that. We all love that scotch now.
This is the beauty of what we do, right? We share things that we love. A lot of these things many of us have never had before, and we're converts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it's super,
You
super.
know what I saw is interesting about this Talisker too is it's released at 45.8%. Very specifically 45.8. Like most scotches or whiskeys or bourbons it's a flat number. It's 45.8. That's their consistent percentage of alcohol.
What do you guys think of the cigar?
So I'm getting a bit of a sour note at the end.
Really?
On the finish.
I don't get that.
No.
No.
I'm
In
not-
fact, on the
Like
draw,
just
on the
at
draw,
just on the finish.
Oh, baby,
I get a hint of sweetness on the draw, the initial
Just
draw.
something.
And I'm still at an
right
earthy-
on the finish.
I'm at an earthy finish for me here.
I'm
still.
getting something on the tip of my tongue. I don't know if I'd call it sour.
but
But I'm getting
something.
something.
Tangy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tangy.
a little
like
tang. I got to say though, for the
Citrus,
the
maybe?
questions about humidity and like it seems like it's burning great across the room right now.
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of bright white. Look at Rooster. I
Yeah.
mean, that's as white of an ash as
He
you're
has
going to
the
get on any cigar.
best ash in the
Burning
room.
great.
Best ash
It's
in the room.
just it, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
My the problem I thought was going to happen didn't manifest. So I'm
Good.
good.
That's good.
You might have to smoke this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all on eggshells, by the way, for a little while there. So thank goodness.
So we talked about Cigar Aficionado ratings of this cigar. Right? It rated in the 90s several times over the years. They just put out last week the top 25 cigars of 2021.
Oh, what a
I'm-
list.
I'm curious what the we actually haven't talked about it too much as a group, the Lizard. So I'm interested to kind of go through some of these and see what you guys think.
Do you
I
want to
mean,
start from the top or the bottom?
Let's start at the top.
yeah, let's start at the
Yeah,
top. I
top
mean,
5 is what counts.
obviously we are
Great cigar.
Padron fanboy podcast, the Padron 1964 anniversary series in Torpedo.
Natural.
Natural though.
I'd like
to
to-
grinder.
Yes.
That's right, baby.
I'd like to note something for the record that this cigar in natural was spoke about, I forget on which episode, way before they released this as the number one cigar.
It was on the Exclusivo episode.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
we talked about this cigar for the record, that this in natural is a really, really, really good cigar. And I think we even raised the question, not sure why, as a group, we really like the Exclusivo in Maduro. And we like the 80th, that kind of flavor profile for Padron. This 64 for whatever reason, this 64 series Torpedo in natural, we smoked a number of them. And I bought a number of them as singles at our local tobacconist, and I think it's a knock your socks off. Smoke. It's a knock your socks off.
Marvin
cigar.
Schenken actually listens to our podcast. He probably heard us.
He probably did.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah, good old Marv.
That's what did it. That did it.
That did it. No, but I mean, it's a good. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm saying it's number one.
I'm totally comfortable with that cigar at number one. I think that's very appropriate. It's been a few years now since Padron.
Before you
took
move
number
on,
one.
how many natural Padrones have you have?
Yeah, I've had a bunch.
So what's crazy? I've only had two.
I've
my
only
whole
had
life.
I've only had one, and I enjoyed it, Senator. I did enjoy it.
Well, one was the 1926 number 6. It was rated like in the top 3 on Cigar Aficionado. It's the only reason I tried it, because I've never had any natural Padron before that. I said, let me give this a whirl, and I really did not enjoy it. Now, Gizmo gave me and some other lizards a 1964. It was a thin ring gauge Corona in natural.
That's
and
the
that
one-
was actually really delicious.
And that's the one I had.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Very good.
And that had, you know, what's funny? We talk about aging New World cigars. That cigar, for some reason, I found a box it was a 2012 box of Padrones. I don't know why, but it just, everybody that I've given that cigar to loves it, and I love it. It's just a wonderful, wonderful shape in that, you know.
How do you know it was 2012?
Because there's a little piece of paper in every box of Padrones. You have to find it. It's kind of hidden. There's a little white piece of paper that tells you the date that it was boxed.
Well, it's cool because that piece of paper, it has the date that is stamped on this little white piece of paper, and handwritten in pen is the person who actually boxed that cigar.
And
it's
rolled
really
it.
cool.
There's two.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. That's so cool.
So I just did a quick rundown of the cigars in this top 25. I've only smoked 5 of them.
What's number 2?
Number 2
Monte
is,
Cristo 1935 anniversary Nicaragua number 2.
That's the white label.
No,
It's
no,
white. It's
totally
like-
different.
it's like gold and black.
limited thing they came out with.
I see. Okay.
Which we actually may want to try at some point. I'm just curious.
I've seen, you know, when this list came out, I saw a bunch of guys in the forums that I'm on, Reddit and whatnot, said that they really liked that cigar.
And it's a Nicaraguan, which we like Nicaraguan cigars. So
I've actually never had a non-Cuban Monte Cristo.
I've had. Yeah.
So
I smoked the white label Churchill.
Yeah, the
like,
white label
for
is
breakfast.
decent.
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
a
Great
very
morning
good-
smoke.
Yeah.
It's mild.
It's a very good.
It's a
morning
mild
smoke.
cigar.
It is mild,
Yeah.
but it's it's very aromatic. It's very easy to smoke in the morning, and it's
Good combustion.
for
on it.
for the boxes that I have, the Churchills. They actually smoke very quickly. They don't smoke it like it's not like an hour long smoke. So
Have you heard of this? The Cloud Hopper,
no, that was
number
a
11.
unique thing for me.
yeah, I've never heard of that.
What's number 3, Grinder?
Number 3. Oh, go ahead, Grinder. I'm sorry.
No, you got
Or
it.
Gizmo. Yeah.
Number 3 is the San Cristobal Quintessence Churchill. Never heard of that. I've heard of San Cristobal, but that one is new to me. Number 4 is near and dear to our heart. Partagas Series D number 4.
That was our New Year's cigar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great cigar.
Um,
It's nice to see. I'm sorry. It's nice to see a Cuban in the top 5.
Absolutely.
I know, you know, they're obviously not spending a lot of advertising dollars with Cigar Aficionado. Habanos doesn't do a lot of that, but it's nice to see a Cuban.
I
in the
think
top 5.
it's a subtle nod to the fact that, like, yeah, you guys aren't paying us, but we appreciate you.
And I mean, it adds a level of legitimacy. I mean,
Well, and what they're saying here, which is kind of like a backhanded compliment in here in the write up for the D4, the Partagas Alphabet series started blah 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 blah. Oh, whatever the reason, this is the backhanded compliment. Whatever the reason, this perennial crowd pleaser maintained high quality this year. Whatever the reason. Rising above,
Say it
whatever
again.
whatever that reason is, rising above other Cuban cigars for its ability to consistently deliver a flavorful smoking experience,
Such a
despite its
dickhead
high
editorial
production numbers. It's like fuck off,
Yeah.
for whatever the reason. You mean for the reason the fact that Cuba's been making cigars since time immemorial? Fuck off.
it's also the number
like,
one selling Cuban cigar in the world.
Yeah. So I mean, whatever the reason, it couldn't be,
It's fantastic.
Couldn't be a history of
expertise.
excellence
Yeah,
out
a
of
history
Partagas
of
in Cuba. I mean,
Year
Whatever
after
the reason.
yeah,
You know,
year after year of perfection.
I fucking hate these guys, man. The fact that they
come on, Marv's a friend.
is he?
He's a listener. He put that torpedo.
Oh,
in
Yes,
a
he is a
that's
listener.
so
Sorry,
cool.
Marv.
All right, onward, Gizmo. Onward.
This one I don't know. I think this is a Fuente, the Casa Cuba Doble Cuatro.
Oof.
The Casa Cuba. I feel like that's a Fuente budget line.
This sounds awful.
I think, yeah, it's an Arturo Fuente early era cigar. Back when a family was producing cigars with Cuban tobacco on their back porch in Tampa. This is in memory of the late Carlos Fuente Sr., which obviously a few of their wines are.
So they made all the cigars in the backyard.
I guess.
No, they did.
Tampa.
If you remember, I think it was the shark episode. Maybe we didn't get too much in the history of Fuente, but it's very crazy because when their factory, if you want to even call it that, it was very small, had burned down. Carlos Sr. had the kids rolling
Oh yeah.
cigars every day. It was like 50 sticks a day, 200 sticks a day, something like that. But like that's exactly what they were doing, like in their backyard.
You mentioned that, yeah.
Number 6 is the Illusion Cruzado Robusto.
So I
Horrible
That's
cigar.
That's a Nicaraguan.
is
as
it
well.
horrible?
Ah,
They make-
Illusione. I've had it.
Illusions are not bad.
I've always
They're
had
not-
very
yeah,
very
really.
good experiences
No.
with them.
I had it once at our former club, and it was okay.
They're a bit
All right.
Tatuaje like.
So I have to say this: we need to review that only because I've never had one,
Yeah, I'd like
and
to.
to
I
hear
like to try
Rooster
one.
even call it decent, that
Yeah.
means it's
I think
smokable. So I
it's
want
a
to try
very,
it.
And I
think
like
it's a
the
very good
Epernay.
cigar. Illusion makes.
It's like a Lonsdale size is the one I had, and it was good.
I've never had a bad one.
I mean, it didn't
And
make me
yeah.
like buy a whole box of those, but I think it's worth.
Maybe I'm thinking about
Worth
the
a
bull.
pod.
The bull. Is there an Illusione bull?
They make a few different ones.
That's
That's
the
the
Andalusian.
Andalusian.
Oh,
Strike that from the recording.
So Andalusia is a region of Spain.
Okay. Yes, I know that.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
That's not true.
And they're known for bullfighting.
What are you talking about?
And La Flor Dominicana was started by a Spaniard who lives in Dominican Republic, and he named the cigar after the Andalusian bull.
Not
They're
a good,
tough to find.
Not a good cigar.
They're
It's
tough
not
to
a good
find.
cigar.
All right, well, we'll try it.
Well,
We'll
we'll
try
see.
an
They were
Illusion.
a very interesting shape.
do you doubt Rooster?
No, the
don't-
Illusione.
That's a
is
different
good.
cigar.
The
I made,
Illusion-
yeah,
I
I made
see.
a mistake. My
I see.
mistake.
Understood.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Understood.
the Andalusian bull is an awful stick.
All right, so number 7.
It was
the-
number 1 CA. How can you?
Yeah,
how
I
dare
can't-
you?
I can't wait to try it again.
They are the.
I can't. Let's try it again.
the
Let's
authority.
try it.
Number 7 is, or sorry, number 6. Number 7 is near and dear to our heart.
Who's our heart?
Yeah, who's our heart?
What? Can you
Everyone's
read it
heart.
out loud?
Oliva, Siri V, Melanio, Maduro in Churchill.
That's always up there, right?
Yeah, they
Like,
love
always-
Oliva, man.
That's
One of-
because they spend the most cash.
Look, the only thing I'm going to say slightly in their defense, and I want to say this because I think this is how we should approach this list. Do you know how many people that listen to this podcast that have asked me? I just got a text the other day, no exaggeration. This is someone who, and I love, we're going to coin this term. This is a coworker of mine who said he's a lizard in training, right? He's trying to learn. He's enjoying the pod. And he sends me a text. He said he's in New Orleans and he's at a cigar shop and he's trying to figure out what to buy. And he said he's like, I've already scolded the retailer because there are no Padrones sold there. So he's a lizard. He knows
That-
what to look for.
And he knows how to scold.
Yes, they have no Davidoff. And he says, what do I buy? And I think a list like this that's so heavily dominated with New World cigars, it's trying to find when you're in that pinch and you don't have any cigars and you got to walk in a retailer and buy something. I mean, Bam has done this, right? Like you'll walk in a spot,
Yeah.
you're in the middle of the workday, you just want a cigar and you got to buy what they have. And so it's finding something that's smokable. And what I will say about Oliva is like in Oliva V, if you're in a pinch in a shop, you're not going to light up an Oliva V and say, this is the worst thing I've ever had. I can't smoke it. It's not going to knock your socks off. It's not going to be amazing.
It's not
But, like,
offensive. But it's not offensive.
It's a
Grinder loves that
serviceable,
cigar.
it's a serviceable stick.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have many bad experiences smoking Oliva. I love the Oliva V Belicoso, like the short Belicoso. I think that was cigar of the year for our esteemed friends at CA a while ago. But to their credit, I think it's a very good cigar. I have one in my humidor here that I'll smoke after the pod. And the Melanio, the Robusto Melanio, the softbox press is a very good. It's a very good cigar. And I think we'd be remiss if we were to just dash it to the side and say it's trash.
I agree. I agree.
We have to
Good
listen. We
everyday
have to
sticks.
try a lot of these.
No. I agree with your assessment. Up at my hunting club, a lot of these guys smoke these Oliva V's, different sizes, different shapes, and I'm giving these all the time, and I've got other friends outside of this group who smoke these, so they're shared with me. And I got to tell you, I've smoked them, and I'm never like, oh fuck, like this is shit. I'm talking, I'm smoking it, and guess what? It's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine.
They're
It's a
good
good
everyday
smoke.
sticks.
Yeah,
I think
it's a pretty good smoke.
I
I mean,
think
am I
we all
buying
agree.
a box? No.
I think we all agree with
and
that.
I'd like to
It's
see
a
what
pretty
that's.
good smoke.
I'd
I
like to
mean-
see what those are like under the microscope of the pod here, where we're sitting there smoking them. I've smoked a few of the Melanios. I didn't love them. They weren't under the microscope. They're very similar to the experience that Puba just had. But I'd like to do them.
I think the non-Melanio are better.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know the difference between Melanio and.
but they're fuller. If they're non-Melanio, they're fuller flavor.
That's correct.
Got
Yeah.
it. Okay. All right, boys. Number 8, Cohiba, Siglo 6, Cuban. That's a rooster favorite,
Good
right?
No, I like the Siglo 4
Okay.
because that's like a 46 ring gauge.
Siglo 6. If you
Six
can
is
get a
great.
non-counterfeit one,
Yeah.
sure.
So the Siglo 6 is a 52 ring gauge, nearly 6 inches long.
It's a
Number
legendary
9.
cigar.
Number 9.
Buckle up.
Skip.
Buckle up for number 9.
Skip.
Number 9 is
Skip.
Rooster's favorite.
Oh yeah.
He
Please
has a
skip.
separate humidor full of these. The Rocky Patel Grand Reserve Robusto. A 10, a 10, a 10.
Pagoda, please.
Let's keep going.
Begin.
All right, number 10, Arturo
can
Fuente.
expound.
Hey,
Rare-
a lot of people like these rare pinks.
The rare pinks, I've seen a lot about them. The vintage 1960s series. It's I guess what they are is they're the same shape, the same vitolas as the Hemingway series. They're just wrapped with a different wrapper. I think Cameroon. I'm not 100%. The happy ending is the size in this one. What I love about this cigar, and hopefully sometime we'll have Carlito on to talk about it. I haven't had one, but
I doubt it.
what I like about this is that I guess there's a portion of the proceeds that go to breast cancer research and awareness on this cigar. I think it was made for his daughter or his
That's nice.
niece or something. So I am full in support of the rare pinks being successful because I think that's a great cause
Great
that
cause.
Carlito has done there. Has anybody had a rare pink?
No.
Yeah, I
No.
haven't had one.
No.
No.
Hemingways are fine cigars as well. You can't hate on a Hemingway. Number 11, Cloud Hopper. Number 53. Never heard of it. Don't know anything about it. Looks like this is a boutique brand.
Next.
Yeah, we'll have to try one of those. Number 12, Luciano the Dreamer. Another one I haven't heard of.
Next.
Have you guys heard of that one?
No.
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 Okay. Number 13, we know Tatuaje Reserva K222.
Has anyone had that?
Nope.
It's a brown label, it looks like, with a Reserva on it.
I would happily try it.
Yeah, we should try it.
I
We
would.
should
I
try
mean,
a Tatuaje. We
I've
haven't
never
done
had
one before.
I've never enjoyed a Tatuaje.
There's a few Tatuajes I like.
I've liked Tatuaje.
I mean,
You have never
you-
had the
Oh.
Petite Cazadores?
I've liked that Petit Cazadores.
The black label
but it wasn't
Tatuaje is
something-
very nice.
I don't know what I rated it, but it wasn't something
Or the
I'd go
Conjure
back to.
Black Label?
Can we talk about
So
why is
the
Aging
black label's
Room
very nice.
always in the fucking top 25?
Yeah, they
Well,
love
it's only
Aging Room.
recent. It's only recent, and I don't know why, but it's recent.
So
They
it's
got Cigar of the Year the other
Cigar-
just
yeah.
a few
last
months ago.
last year I think.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was that.
Not last year.
Is that AJ?
2 years ago.
It's AJ
COVID year.
Fernandez?
No.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
No.
no, 2020,
Was it 3?
2019.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
No,
It
it's-
is AJ.
Oh, it
Fernandez.
is? Oh, you're right, you're right, it
He's a
is.
big
It is.
guy. I mean,
No, he is. But the
cigar
funny
world.
thing is, so when that was Cigar of the Year, a number of us, when we were at a lounge of ours, we bought it
Yeah.
and tried it.
Yeah.
And the irony of that cigar being called the Aging Room, the flavor, it's very full flavor,
Full
which is
flavor.
great.
Yeah.
But holy shit, there were so many rough edges. A harsh cigar.
It's not aged.
Yeah.
It needs to age. It's like, what do you're calling yourself Aging Room? Just age the fucking cigar for a few years before you release it.
I think it's very accurate.
So-
very accurate.
Number 15.
Yeah, this
I
I've had-
love
I
this
like-
cigar.
I actually
I
like it too.
fucking love
we've
this
talked
cigar.
we talked
I
about
like
the cigar
it
this
too.
week.
What
It's
is
so-
it?
You've had it.
Oh
What is it?
yeah, I've had it.
Herrera.
Oh yeah.
Herrera
It's so
Esteli.
good.
It's the Herrera Esteli Habano Robusto Grande by Drew Estate.
I think this guy does a lot of good shit, and Willie, he's I think this was his first cigar that
For Drew.
for Drew. Well, yeah, for Drew
Mhm.
that they marketed and put it on the the Herrera Esteli, and I've been smoking it since he introduced it. I've always enjoyed it. It really hits all of the flavor profiles I like.
How would you compare it?
Pod-worthy.
How would you compare it to the Liga?
Oh, very different.
It's a lighter,
It's
much
so
lighter.
Much lighter.
It's
Okay.
not. It's
Look at the
incomparable.
wrapper.
It's incomparable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look
Look
at
at the
just look
wrapper.
at the cigar.
Yeah, I mean it's light. Yeah.
It's I actually secretly kind of enjoy these.
It's your
From
guilty
time-
Are you
pleasure.
serious?
kept this.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So I have
Wait
a
a
couple of these.
second.
I
New
don't have
world.
a lot of them.
New world.
I have about a half dozen of these in that I smoke that I bought years ago, but I like them. I don't mind them.
They're not contaminating
bad.
your tower.
Look at this.
I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan of.
I don't
of
mind
this
these.
cigar.
We have to do that.
cigars.
But it's funny. Grinder and I were talking about
Haven't
this.
you guys
this
smoked
week.
these before?
I've never had one.
No,
I
so
have.
the only one I've tried, and a number of the lizards in this room were with me for this. We did a Lancero night once at a cigar lounge of ours, and I've only tried this in Lancero.
Mhm.
This did not score that high that night. It didn't. It lacked flavor in the way that some of the others were a lot bolder, a lot more suited to our palate. But I haven't had I would love to try it in a different Vitola, a bigger ring gauge, and get more and see what it's all
I
about.
have like a handful of Coronas.
It's
I think
so-
they make a Corona.
So
size.
tasty.
Looking at this cigar, can I just comment? Look at Rooster's
Look
ash.
at his.
Look at Bam's ash. This is there's 2 inches of ash.
Well, yeah, I don't see. I'm paranoid because I get yelled at when I let my ass go too far. And it falls on the
Senator gets a
floor.
little crazy.
Only
He
you
gets
get
it-
yelled
right,
at.
So I end up ashing mine. So I could have held on, but yeah.
What are you guys thinking about the Antaño by Hoya right now? Halfway through.
I got to tell you, the combustion is fantastic,
Yeah.
and the construction's very nice. Right, the ash doesn't want to come off.
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's good, but it's not great.
For me, I'm not getting a ton of flavor.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So, it's funny. I'm smoking this and I'm saying for such a full flavored cigar, it's actually very smooth. I was expecting like maybe a bite in the back of my throat or it packing too much of a punch. None of that's there, which is good.
Yeah.
But I'm not, it's like the flavor is muddled.
It's not memorable.
Everything is just melded together in a way that I cannot pick out distinct flavor notes in this cigar, which is disappointing.
Yeah, it's just not memorable for me. I'm just
Yeah, the Scotch is way better right now for me than the cigar.
yeah, not memorable.
All right, so number 16, going back to the CA list. Speaking of Joya de Nicaragua, the Joya Silva Robusto, number 16 this year, which I guess is a just a Robusto 50 ring gauge by 5 inches. All right, so this is one I guess we're going to do up in a few weeks. The My Father the Judge.
oh yeah,
The Grand Robusto got number 17 this year.
I like that cigar.
Yeah.
I like it like once every 5 years.
It packs a punch.
Yeah.
Well, get ready for it in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it packs a punch.
A lot of people smoke it. I've never had one. That's why I'm actually interested. We're going to do it on
Many-
the pod, but
many
I see a
people
lot of
smoke it.
guys pick that up
Yeah.
and smoke that.
They do. That's true, Pooba. They
Poop is
do.
choking.
Pooba just vomited.
Puba's
onto the
foaming
mic.
at the mouth. Somebody call an ambulance.
It has a time and place. It's something that you can't.
It's a fuller flavor than the
cigars are
cigar you're
something you wanna
holding.
smoke regularly. You can't fucking smoke that thing regularly.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's intimidating.
I've literally, I mean, if we
It's
lose
not-
listeners over this, fucking whatever, you want to hate me, fine. I've literally been gifted this cigar and been like, thank you so much, and thrown it out the window of my truck. Fucking driving down the highway.
You know what I love about this, though?
I can't wait
love
for
this.
that. I can't wait for that
Did you-
podcast.
Did you did you
I-
drop it? Did
no.
you drop it like fourth period French?
I dropped it like second period.
Second period French. Sorry.
I like that
Fuck
reaction.
this thing.
I like
fucking
this
throw it
reaction.
right out the fucking window.
Because we had the Liga. It was surprising to everyone.
Yeah.
That could also be a surprising cigar.
I don't think so.
You just
dude.
never know.
It's
Dude,
not
it sucks.
that. It's not something you want to smoke that often.
Well, that'll be an interesting pod.
Yes.
Right.
In
And
a
now
few
you got
weeks.
Ramon Alone's Gigante.
Yeah, another Cuban.
Which is a good cigar.
So that's the second Cuban on the list.
I have a question about that. I'm considering buying a box or two of those because they look amazing. Has anyone had that?
Haven't you bought enough?
No.
Yeah, I've had singles of it. It
Coming
tastes
from
like
Ru-
Is it
tastes
good?
like a Ramon Alone's.
Real, and just really big, yeah.
It's almost 8
Yeah.
inches long.
So Rooster's had them. He gave me one. Look, I've only had one, so I can't.
me
My
too.
sample size is way too small to say. The reason I'm saying this is the flavor was exactly like Pooba said. It's Ramon Ionis. The flavor was good. The construction was the problem for me. I
Really?
had issues
Really?
smoking it. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
All right, number 19's San Luis Rey Carenas Toro. That is a Honduran cigar.
Don't know.
I don't know that one.
Much better Cuban.
Number 20, La Flor Dominicana Airbender Chisel, which is a Dominican Republic cigar.
It's not chisel.
Chisel?
It's chisel. What the
Chisel.
What are you talking about?
Listen, I'm speaking Spanish.
Chisel.
Chazelle?
Just keep your
Giselle?
pinky out when you say that, Giz.
You have to- take your glasses off and put your fucking monocle on and stop feigning
I
arrogance.
think we should.
It's the Chisel, boy.
Chisel. Give me a
Chisel.
break.
We got to do that. We got to do that one.
This list is a joke. Let's just,
It's starting to fall apart.
It's falling apart.
Number
Please.
21, the Padilla 88 Anniversario Robusto.
Do we care about like anything past this?
Let's
No, but we
let's
should
hear
go.
the
We
rest.
I've
should
had
go.
24. And,
Let's hear the rest.
We
Let's-
should hear the rest.
Let's hear
Please,
the rest.
please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 23, we have Ashton Heritage Puro
Wait, you
Sol.
skipped 22.
I did? No-
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Ramon
Ionis.
Ionis.
We
which
got to
is-
do that.
Which one?
It's a,
So
it's
I
it's a
suggest
new
I
world.
want to do this
fine.
because it's
Which?
a new world, but the story is interesting on this. So Cigar Aficionado posted, they do a cigar of the week, and I saw this come up and I sent it to Giz, and I want us to review this cigar. The only
Cool.
reason I say that is because apparently AJ Fernandez's father, his favorite cigar was Cuban Ramon Ionis. And so he made a non-Cuban Ramon Ionis. He's the blender there to kind of honor his father and his love of Cuban Ramon Ionis. So I am just wildly curious what this new world take from a very esteemed, a guy like AJ Fernandez, who obviously has made tons of cigars,
Yeah.
what this tastes like. So I'd like to review it.
We
Let's
should
do
do
it.
the Ramona Ionis Cuban, the Club Coronas, and maybe this one. The Club Corona is a fantastic smoke.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I think it's better than the Ras.
Really?
Wow.
Guys,
It's-
I've had smoked those a long time. I don't have a box at the moment because I smoked through the last box I had, and you
I
can't.
can
They're a
bring
little bit
some.
hard to find right now. Actually,
Very good smoke.
it's a very, very good. Bam, you love them. Remember, I've given you more. I gave you a bunch of those.
You've given me 3 of those. Every single one was fantastic.
Really?
It's all flavor.
That's
It's-
worthy of a pot.
It's all fucking flavor and totally worthy of a pot.
It's
Okay.
they're fantastic.
100%.
They're
I-
fantastic.
speaking
we
of
could do a
worthy
new
of-
world and an old
Let the
world.
ledger reflect. I'm very upset that Bam got 3 of these. I have not
I have
gotten
gotten
one.
Never had
0.
one?
No, he had one.
0.
I'll give
Senator,
you
you
one.
had one
No.
at one of our watering holes.
You know what?
No?
You know why I probably because it's a diminutive in size. It's smaller than a petite.
And you're
it's-
intimidating, hulking
you know,
guy.
it's
I
just-
mean,
well, I never. Well, no,
it doesn't go.
I never thought like it's. I really always liked it, and I've always had them around, but I never thought. To me, it's. To be honest with you, I mean, it's not. Some people ruminate over them. It's a small cigar. It's a great. It fits. It's. I need to get another box. But my point is like if I'm going out and I'm going to barbecue some steaks, I take that cigar out with me. If I'm going to have a cigar at the end of the night and you don't have a little bit of time, I'll have it with me. Like over at our other lounge, the North Lounge.
That was our end of evening cigar.
Yeah, end of evening cigar. It's really good.
The
So-
flavor's
Yeah,
amazing.
Flavor's
imagine a
fantastic.
Ras, but the flavors are more concentrated.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that small
It's sweet.
steak.
And it's
It
sweet.
is sweet. A lot of floral, a lot of fruit. It's
It's
dried
really a good
fruit's
cigar.
fantastic. Yeah.
It's really a good,
All right.
good
Add
Well,
that to
I'm
the
interested to see how AJ Fernandez did with Ramon on
Let's
that
get
cigar. We
those.
got to do that.
Let's get those.
Okay, number 23, the Ashton Heritage Puro Sol Churchill. I don't know anything
Avoid
about
it.
it.
Mild.
Avoid all Ashtons,
Very mild.
like every Ashton has
Well, the
ever been.
VSG's a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what? My
Fuller.
father-in-law loves an Ashton, man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean,
There were some lizards who used to smoke.
I-
Ashton.
I
used to
like
smoke Ashtons,
the
absolutely.
Ashton original, the
It's
Churchill.
amazing how far they have gone.
Yeah, it's amazing how far you've come, considering
I've been-
you didn't
I've been-
smoke aged
I
Cubans
smoked. I
before you
smoked.
met me.
I did.
That
you
is-
don't know
that-
that well.
That's a fucking indictment right there.
I smoked a Ras in 1991.
Right.
Oh, geez.
And an Exclusivo in 1940.
In Gibraltar.
At Woodstock,
In Mexico.
Oh man.
All right, what's next?
Okay, number 24 is favorite brand of Cigar Aficionado, obviously the EP Carrillo La Historia E3. 3 is a 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 3 Pagoda, have you had that cigar?
No, I have had it once, I think, but I prefer the Encore in the EP Carrillos.
Got it.
I had that cigar, I think, with one of your better friends.
Yeah.
Very nice gentleman.
Correct.
And we had this cigar.
No, it wasn't this.
It wasn't this. It was a different one.
It was the Encore.
It was the Encore.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, we did a pod on that.
We did, yeah, on the pledge.
Yeah.
We did on
Yeah.
the pledge.
No, the Encore is
Other
different.
sides.
It is, yes.
Yeah,
Right.
Encore is very floral.
And number 25, rounding out the top 25 here for 2021, the Alec and Bradley Kintsugi Corona Gorda.
Okay.
The wrapper is, or sorry, the band is almost as long as the
Yeah,
cigar.
it's huge.
Looks ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
They're very proud of that name that I can't
Wait,
pronounce.
why is it Alec and Bradley? Isn't it just Alec Bradley?
Yeah, I always
Alec and
thought it
no,
was-
it's Alec and Bradley. It's something about, I think it's the sons of Alec Bradley.
They make. s- Oh,
Yeah, it's
I'm not
true.
gonna-
The Reuben brothers, sons of Alec Bradley founder Alan.
I'm not going to go there.
Yeah. So that's the top 25. So I guess overall, I mean, I wasn't surprised by what they put out, but certainly.
Yeah, but, so
you
there
know,
were what, 2 Cubans in
Two
the
Cubans,
whole thing.
yeah.
So one was a Partagas D4 and a Ramon
Yeah.
Gigantes.
Yep.
Gigantes,
That's
yeah.
it.
Yep.
Right.
Ridiculous.
And there was a Cohiba number 6.
Yeah, 3.
So
So there are 3
3.
total. Yeah, the
Right.
top 25.
That's absurd.
And some of these are very respectable cigars, and obviously a lot of them we haven't had, so we have to have them. So if there's any listeners out there who like any of these cigars, who love any of these cigars, certainly send us an email. Tell us what you're smoking, tell us what you like, and maybe we'll get to try
Right.
them in the next
You
few
know,
weeks.
you know what's shocking about this list? There's not a single Davidoff.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
It's absurd.
That's true.
Yeah, but you know, I'm wondering whether you have to actually apply to be rated. I don't know.
No,
Like it's one of those
a
things.
blind, it's a
certainly
blind
Habanos
test.
isn't applying.
You
Yeah,
have, you have
there's
to
no
pay
way.
It's a
for
blind
ad space. You have to
I'm
take
not sure. We-
full
we-
page
we
full
should-
page
We
ad.
should really reach out
Davidoff
to.
does. Davidoff
But if
does
Cuban,
advertise.
yeah, they
That's true.
advertise, and if Cuban Partagas is getting in the top 5, and we know they're not advertising
Right,
the Cigar Aficionado, I mean, Davidoff should be
Should
in
be
the
there.
mix. Yeah,
No, just apply to be considered. That's all I'm saying.
The guys who are rating this stuff know exactly what they're smoking. I mean,
It's all
these
bullshit.
I'm
guys.
sure.
So when you talk about professional, whatever, they know they know what's going on. Everybody knows what time it is with this. Everyone knows the deal with this.
All right,
list.
so going off our vote earlier, it's time to do our first ever in however many podcasts we're in here, our first formal liquor rating.
Should we do
of
the
our-
Should we do the FLR before the?
I want to do the liquor first. So we're going to start with Bam Bam on the liquor. Bam, what are you giving the
Reversing the order.
Yeah, what are you giving the Talisker 10?
This is not easy. I do love this. It's beautiful. It's delicious.
Can you ash that?
No.
yeah. Can you please,
Yeah, Bam's rolling with about 3.5
for my
inches of
floor's
ash.
sake?
It's down to the band.
Let's see how long it takes to flick off. One.
There you go. First flick. All right, so
when
what's
when
your
you saw that bend, it was
Yeah,
It was,
it was done.
It's over.
It was time.
Peyronie's disease.
No problem here.
All right, Bam Bam,
Why
what's
do
your
you,
rating?
why do you know what that is?
There's commercials
You
about
know,
it
It's
now.
commercials. It's carrots.
Without getting into too much detail, you know I play a doctor on TV.
Yes, we do.
End it there.
All right, Bam Bam, your formal liquor rating. What is it? On the Talisker 10.
I don't know.
All right, I guess we're gonna start with Rooster.
Okay, Rooster.
All right, hold on.
Wait, no. Wow, I'm shocked. considering Bam has to ask for the senator's address every week before he comes to the podcast. Shocking that he has no clue what to say.
Probably he,
Bam is so frustrated right now.
Okay.
he hasn't had it under a shower. Otherwise,
Take a shower, dude. Report back in.
I'll go. Okay, I'll rate this now. I don't want to offend the room.
You can do it, bro.
Can we get the Jeopardy music? Do, do, do.
Fuck you. Don't do that.
Give us a number, Bam. Give us a number.
8.
Okay. Grinder.
Um,
Pooba's cueing the music now.
for me, this scotch is good. It's probably I'm gonna say 7.
Okay. Pagoda.
8.
Okay.
Actually, I like it.
Senator.
I like it.
8.
I'm also going to give it an 8. Pooba.
I'm gonna give it.
Here comes the cease and desist.
No. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay.
What?
Whoa.
The
Wow.
Talisker?
I thought you said you liked it.
The Talisker.
How many? Hold on. Don't say a fucking word. How many addresses have you asked for?
Oh my God.
I chalked that up to the early 90s.
Yeah,
The,
that's called. You know, that's payback, baby.
That is payback. That's part.
Chalk that up
that's
to the
karma.
early 90s. What were you
Uh,
doing
no,
in
the
the early
time-
90s that fucked up
Don't
your
ask.
addled your brain that much?
Don't ask. Shut the fuck up.
No, keep it going.
The Talisker to me is an 8. Yeah.
Okay.
It's an 8. Yeah.
Yeah, same. An 8.
An 8.
All right. The formal liquor rating on the Talisker 10 is a 7.9. So that's a strong recommend in this
solid.
group. Yeah, solid recommend.
Let's round up.
Yep.
Strong rec.
Now,
Start-
I'm curious, Grinder, did you give it a 7?
I did.
He did.
What knocked it down a few pegs for you?
That's a good question. It's a good scotch to me. On a recent podcast, we had a Glenmorangie 10, and to me, that's an 8 or a 9, maybe an 8. A Lagavulin like a 9 or a 10. Macallan's like a 9. I'm just rack and stacking what I like and love,
Yeah.
and that's where it falls for me.
Wow.
Fair
Very
enough.
interesting.
I
mean,
think that 7.9 is very fair for this.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised to hear that. And it's interesting because our palates differ there. Where for me, I mean, I don't love lighter scotches. That's why I said like that Glenmorangie 10. That's only for the only time I'd reach for that is on a really hot day where a full flavored scotch is just not what you want to drink when it's 95 degrees out. And so I'd reach for that then. But for 90% of the time, I want more flavor. And this has more flavor. So, a Glenmorangie 10 for me would be like a 6 or a 7. This is more what my palate craves. That's why I gave it an 8.
Yeah, same.
I really enjoyed it. That's the first time I've had it. Similar to what Grinder said, I can thinking about what else I like in my mind. That's why I kind of landed where I did. But very nice scotch.
I like it a lot. It's just not something I want to grab. If I want peat, I'm going to go Lagavulin.
Yeah.
No, what I like about this is it's a little sweet in the beginning and finishes with the peatiness, and that flavor kind of lingers, and I kind of like it. So definitely an 8 for me.
I think it pairs very well with a cigar too. I think it matches up nicely with a good cigar.
Yeah,
And
it puts out more flavor than this cigar is.
definitely. So speaking of cigars and flavor, coming to the end of the Joya de Nicaragua Antaño in Belicoso, let's do the formal lizard rating on the Joya here. Rooster, let's start with you.
So I'm looking at the ashtray right now, and I see Puba's stick. He gave it up after half an inch.
No,
That's not true.
Is that true?
Smoked half of
So
it.
I
No.
can imagine what the rating's gonna be. But I mean, to me, it's not complex. It's like there's not a lot of flavor in it. It started off okay.
Yeah.
It was decent, like in the beginning, like maybe the first half inch. So to me, I don't know. It's a 6.
Okay.
I'll give it a 6.
It's a 4. I thought it was horrible. Fucking throw it out the window. It's a bad. There's absolutely. It had almost zero redeeming qualities for me. I'm giving it a 4. I mean, that's
four,
it.
a
It's just
4, a
terrible.
4.
Bad meat in a can.
Bad meat in a can.
For me, I'm right between these two guys. I think the first third was decent. I think the rest of it has been mediocre at best. I'm right in the middle. I'm going to 5.
All right. So again, I'm right here with you, Gizmo. I'm a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been between a 5 and 6. I think it started off really well. I think, and then it just lost flavor. I think I felt I was just smoking a stick, and so maybe a 5. 5,
It doesn't tickle your heart.
not at all.
It doesn't tickle it. Okay.
Grinder, what do you got?
This is very challenging for me because I love these cigars. The Joya de Nicaragua. I love a lot of the Pitolas, but I'm upset. I'm frankly upset because it was underwhelming, disappointing. I'm giving it a 4.
Ooh, for you, that's low.
Yeah, that's well.
That's shit.
For you, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry.
shit.
It's shit.
Can we
an
note
absolute
for
shit
you?
cigar.
Jesus.
Bam, Bam,
Sorry.
what do you
It's
got?
Terrible.
So
Sorry. Can I?
yeah, please.
The fact that it felt spongy after like half an inch was very disappointing. And the amount of moisture affects the taste so much, and the taste was just lost. The typical taste that I love and enjoy about this cigar and this line of cigars was completely gone, and I was struggling to find it. And I think I mentioned it. You can probably recall from the podcast when we were discussing it. It was just so. It was for me. It was a little upsetting. I'm upset, visibly upset.
You are.
I'm visibly upset.
Bam Bam. What do you got?
I think muddled flavor profile is a very accurate statement for this. I think 4 is low. 5. I think 5 and 6 is very fair. I'm gonna go. I'll go 6 on this cigar. 6.
Just a quick question.
So would you smoke it again? Ever?
What
No.
What
But
under
no,
the right?
I take that back. You know, if it was conditioned a little better than this
Yeah.
cigar, someone handed it to me, I probably would have it.
Let me ask you this though.
I wouldn't reject it. I
To,
wouldn't
to,
reject
to
it.
Bam's point, I think if it were conditioned better,
Yeah, it's got to be
it
conditioned a
would have
bit
been
better
better.
than this.
So the Composite Lizard score is a flat 5, which is clearly a pass for
Yeah,
us.
not a recommend.
Not a recommend. The thing that I'll say about the, about the conditions, obviously, I've only had it for a few weeks in my humidor. What I'm surprised about is, despite what we're saying about the sponginess and the potential humidity problems, I'm surprised how well, it was razor sharp the whole time. It burned the whole time. Combustion was okay.
Not really.
I didn't touch it once.
Not really. I mean,
For
mine's
you?
kind of wonky.
Yeah,
The wrapper's falling apart.
mine was
I
okay.
mean, I'll say this: just looking around the room, I mean, Rooster cigar, it looked stunning.
It did.
I mean, it was just
It
2
just
inches
lacked-
of white
lacked
ash.
flavor.
That's the thing.
I've had better Joya de Nicaraguas than this one.
Mm-hmm.
Same
That
here.
were- That was, they were
Same here.
not bad.
Same here. They were
No, no, I
conditioned.
agree.
They were conditioned a little bit
The
better.
distinction I'm drawing here is
Different
I'm
size
saying
too. so-
Yeah.
the distinction I'm drawing here. What I'm saying is I think the construction, at least for most in this room, looked very good.
Yes.
The flavor was
Yeah.
severely lacking.
Lacking.
That's the disappointment.
I think my score was heavily indexed to emotion, maybe because this is a cigar line that I smoke a lot, and this is just probably the worst I've ever smoked of this cigar.
So you gave it a 4. So without emotion, what would you have given it?
No, I said heavily indexed with emotion because
Okay.
because it's something I love.
Yeah.
I know I love this cigar, and it was not good.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
So
and-
I'm like I'm mad.
Right.
but for the listeners out there, I would recommend the Grand Console, that Vitola.
That's a great cigar.
yeah.
So I think
it's,
that
it's a good stick.
That's
I-
something maybe in a
The
few,
shape
a
and the
few months or
conditioning.
something, we come back to the cigar in a
There you
different
go.
in a different Vitola and
Didn't
see
you
what it's like.
you sourced these, right, man?
I did, yeah.
They didn't have the Grand Console. It
No,
wasn't
they only
available?
had this Vitola.
Maybe there's a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could
Maybe
be.
there's some sort of a reason. It's kind of like you don't understand why the Davidoff Millennial and Toro really doesn't smoke well and why you'd never buy it.
right?
It's kind of like maybe the shape and the way the blend sets up, just doesn't set up right.
Excellent point.
I
That's
don't
a good
know.
point.
It's an excellent point.
It's kind of like
That's
hard
why
to
I
explain.
recommend-
Maybe the ratios
Yeah.
are just a little too different. You know, I don't know.
Maybe,
Yeah. It's not an offensive cigar in a different shape like that. Grand Console is very nice.
This was offensive to me.
I know. I know.
Highly offensive.
Yes, yes.
Like if someone gifted me this
You
cigar,
you throw it at them.
no, I wouldn't make it through and I'd put it down. I'd say, I'm very sorry, but I'm not going to finish the cigar that you gave me. I'm not enjoying it. And I would say that to the fucking president of the United States. If he gave me the cigar, I'd just be like, I'm not into it. I got some other stuff. I'm just going to move on.
Hey,
if you don't
Joe,
mind."
keep that cigar.
I mean, honestly, to me, it was that bad. Like, not good at all.
I think that could be
almost
the
zero redeeming qualities.
I don't even think it's close. I think that's the lowest cigar certainly we've ever given it as a group. And
Yep.
maybe we'll revisit this with another Vitola down the road. But a
Unlike-
flat 5 for the Joya de Nicaragua Antaño in Belicoso. And thanks guys. We'll see you next week.
Keep smoking.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave us a rating and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. If you have any comments, questions, if you want to reach out, say hello, tell us what you're smoking, email us, loungelizardspod, P-O-D, that's loungelizardspod@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram @loungelizardspod. We really appreciate your time, and we'll see you next week.